Ladies, gentle hackers, and all you folks wearing tube socks out there, today I am pleased to report that we are continuing where we left off, finishing what we started. The search for the perfect Metal Mario hack continues, and today, as I mentioned before, we have a pretty promising candidate. If you're in the know, you should already be aware what's going on today. If you're not, it's Mario in Midgard. Now this is a hack I've got high expectations for. A game that puts Mario in the realm of Midgard to fight alongside Vikings and brave the seas and raise and pillage and destroy and sacrifice goats in the name of Asgard. Now I know there's something you all want me to admit, and that's that all these themed hacks have never gone well in the past. Jurassic Path, no dinosaurs. Metal hack, not very metal. All I want is one hack that can live up to an awesome name. And is this the one? Well, just in case it isn't, and I have my suspicions alright, I've decided to keep my bases covered. Critiquing all these bad hacks by myself is just getting old anyway, and I'm not inviting you-know-who back into this house anytime soon. So, today I introduce to you an esteemed new guest reviewer, Dr. Oddball.
Dr. Oddball.
So, Dr. Oddball, before this big breakthrough performance, you don't happen to have anything to say to the world, do you?
Dr. Oddball.
Well then, without any further doo-doo, let us dive into the realm of Midgard.
Well, here we have it. The title screen doesn't look that bad. In fact, all things considered, it's actually pretty well done. The music sets the tone, and that font for the title actually looks like it could be on a metal album cover. But the overworld, not so much. Mediocre at best, and at worst, what are the trees wearing helmets? Stage 1 kicks in. It's called Prontera Field, by the way. Some Legend of Zelda music fits the theme. You know, this is actually showing some serious promise compared to... Wait a second. That's the evil force that Mario's come to the realm of the Vikings to battle against? Blobs? Seriously? You've got the vast world of Norse mythology at your disposal, and the best thing you could come up with for an enemy was this thing that looked like Keepon got taken off his stand?
Why they thought this would work leaves me clueless. A pink pearl eraser has more to do with Norse mythology than Dr. Oddball has more to do with it than a bunch of friggin' slime balls.
Dr. Oddball.
In fact, I'm just going to pick a random object with my eyes closed off my desk, and I guarantee you it will have more to do with the realm of Midgard than any of these enemies in this game. Ready? Ronald McDonald. Yep, Ronald McDonald has more to do with Norse mythology than the enemies in Mario and Midgard. I mean, you could at least put some Viking horns on him.
Everything else you'll see is no better. Just original Mario enemies, and you can't really fault him for it, since it is still a Mario game. But what just drives me nuts is that they tried to modify them, and in all the wrong ways. Oh, I know, we can make the Chargin' Chucks fit in better in the realm of Midgard by sticking their heads in bleach.
It's like, hey, Dr. Oddball, you're going to be in this game about feudal Japan with samurai and ninjas and stuff. How do you think you're going to fit in?
Dr. Oddball.
Uh-huh, I see.
What about all those anachronistic sports balls? Leave those. Nobody's gonna give a crap. Instead, let's redraw the Hammer Brothers hammers for no particular reason whatsoever. In fact, that actually bothers me so much. The obvious thing to do would have been to make the hammers look like Mjolnir, right? You know, the hammer of Thor, maybe the most recognizable thing from Norse mythology. Well, the redrawn ones actually look less like Mjolnir than the original ones from Super Mario World. What did they think this was gonna accomplish? Blobs? Sports? We're the Vikings, we're the Valkyries, we're the sacrificial goats, damn it!
Such a mess, don't you think so?
Dr. Oddball! Don't bother with that Pico's house level, by the way. It's one of those tutorial stages that would only ever help you if somehow you've never played a Mario game before. How do I jump? I press down, right? I do not know how to Mario!
Now, if you actually do need this tutorial, then I feel kind of bad for you, because that would mean your very first Mario game is Mario in Midgard. That's just kind of sad.
Dr. Oddball.
Wait a second. It is your first Mario game, isn't it, Dr. Oddball?
Dr. Oddball.
Well, okay then. Take your time.
Dr. Oddball. Dr. Oddball. Dr. Oddball. Dr. Oddball. Dr. Oddball.
Okay, Dr. Oddball, maybe it'd be best if you left the playing to me.
Dr. Oddball. Back to the game. If you beat Prontera Field 1, you go to the Imperium Hall? Yeah. Apparently instead of switch palaces, in this game you have an Imperium. What is that? And seriously, I looked it up in the dictionary. That's not a real word. You'll find, much to your delight, that this stage is made entirely of cement blocks. It's so hideous, why would anyone... pardon me. It's just a big maze. There are no enemies, except this timer if you count that, which gives you just barely the amount of time you need to make it through the maze. If you don't know the way, you'll be wasting a few of your lives. Now here we have this crystal thing. Yeah, you press a crystal. Wait, Thanatos? The villain's name is Thanatos?
Okay, Hack. Okay. This is whole new territory. You're going into inexcusable stuff now. You just referenced the wrong mythology? Thanatos? That's a Greek representation of death. It has nothing to do with Asgard at all. Imagine if you're playing a hack about, I don't know, Roman mythology, then all of a sudden you run across a message box that starts yapping about Baba Luaye. Yeah, if you didn't know, that's an African deity associated with healing, with nothing to do with Rome. Yeah, this is bad.
So we're coming back to another real stage here, Prontera Field 2, and you know, I'm starting to notice something about this overworld. You start out on a house, you can go left toward a switch palace, or right to play the main levels. Doesn't that sound familiar to you? Yeah, it does. If you're gonna go to the trouble to make your own overworld, then why keep the level layout the same? But back to that stage. I'm starting to notice a serious problem, you know. Aren't you? Let's see if you can pick it out here.
You know, Dr. Oddball, you're new here. Let's give you a chance. Can you get the answer?
Dr. Oddball.
Well, if by that you meant, oh, I see, the game is being slowed to the speed of a tranquilized sloth, then, yeah, you'd be right.
Now get a load of this. Something killed me right here. What was it? The sumo's fire was above me. It couldn't have been that. Is it some kind of glitch? Well, that's one thing, but my question is, why are these coins baiting you right into the death zone? It's a trap! Speaking of coins, they all say Z. What does it stand for? Zyklon? I sure can't think of any Norse deity or Viking or anything like that that starts with a Z. And even more out of place is this weird replacement for Yoshi that you meet in the next stage. What is it, a deformed parrot? When you get him, he mentions someone named Seiren. Who's that? Again, there's no one in Norse mythology called Seiren, and yes, I looked it up. In fact, if Google's anything to go by, I don't think anything ever was called Seiren. But that little detail doesn't bother me so much as this thing. Why is this what they picked as your mount in a game about warriors and gods? Why not some badass dragon or serpent or something? Or, you know, where's Sleipnir? The eight-legged horse? You know him. You'd think something that kick-ass would be impossible to ignore, but no. Make way for the Chinese dragon that got shot with a Looney Tunes gun. Oh, and you want to know what he's called? Pico Pico. Yep, Pico Pico. Men and monsters across the lands cower at the mention of Pico Pico. Yeah, it's like if Beowulf was called Wriggle Nightbug. You know, I'll say it again. This slowdown is such a problem. Every stage past the first few drags out so slowly. This would never have flown in a real Mario game. It's inexcusable. There's a boss stage next, Prontera Entrance. I don't have much to say about it, except just take a wild guess who the boss is. Seriously, guess. Because you know what? You know who you have to fight? Iggy Koopa. Oh, yes, they did. And what? The game's in another language all of a sudden? You just can't do that. It's bait and switch for the player. You download the game, the title's in English, the intro's in English, and then bam, Spanish! Or Portuguese, Esperanto, Klingon, whatever this is. Point is, it's a fucking text box that I can't read.
Going out on a limb here, Dr. Oddball, but you don't happen to know any Spanish, do you?
Médico excéntrico. So now we find ourselves in World 2, the city of Prontera. This is where the game just starts to become a series of kicks to the nuts, each one harder than the last. The first thing they face you with is a gigantic muncher run. If you don't want to get hurt, you'll need to know to have a cape feather and find a star in an invisible block in just the right place. There's no clue, you just have to stumble upon it. It's like going on an Easter egg hunt blindfolded. And wait, did I say cape feather? Did I say star? I forgot to mention that the power-ups are unexplainable too. Instead of a cape, you have a cigar or something. Instead of a mushroom, it's some kind of leaf, or maybe it's a paintbrush. Instead of a flower, you get a shag carpet? I don't know. But it's this sewer stage that really takes a blowtorch to my brain cells. You have to swim up these tiny waterfalls and deal with a bunch of fish. I mean, the message box flat out says it. Fish, fish, and more fish. Is that enough for you? It makes the lag more unbearable than ever. This is the kind of stage that could kill a person. This key they give you right here, don't take it. You've been warned. I haven't found a keyhole for it, and bringing it through the stage is truly some modern method of torture. So clearly, it's just here to waste your time. And now, the last level I'm gonna play before I go fucking insane, Kafra Corp. Oh lord, where do I even start on this one? This is a stage so asinine that it defies description. A bunch of Princess Peaches tell you there's a problem with porings. Yeah, those blob things are apparently called porings. And then you're stuck in this room fighting off 10 friggin' thousand of them with nothing to do and nowhere to go. What am I supposed to do? Kill them all? That's impossible, since every time I move around the stage, the blobs respawn. Then there's this door with green coins around it, but you can't get through it because those aren't really coins, they're solid. It's like they picked the most confusing, infuriating, illogical thing to make a barrier out of, the one thing you'd never expect to be impassable. Fucking coins? What a tease! And most unusual of all, there's a light switch that sends you to this dark version of the stage with a bunch of blue blobs that shoot at you. What good does that do? Diddly dorkwad, it's the same situation. You've got no way out, and these guys you have no way to kill. It's like you made things worse for yourself. Think that switch is gonna get you somewhere? Well, fuck you!
Alright, this game is clearly getting worse and worse, and I could go on playing all day if I wanted to, but that's a little bit longer than I have the patience for, and we kinda need to wrap things up here. So, this is where we draw the line, right, Dr. Oddball? Dr. Oddball... What in the name of... Holy Dr. Oddball, what happened to you?
Do not call me by that name. I am Thor, Odinson, god of thunder.
You're really not joking? I thought Thor was supposed to be this mighty warrior with a hammer, not that.
Well, you played the game, didn't you? You know what I look like.
Well, okay then.
Thor! Oh, Father, Odin, where have you been all this time, Thor? Meddling about in this realm of filthy Mario hacks? We miss you in the halls of Asgard. Come back. I'm sure you haven't played the second Reality Project 3 in so long.
You have the second Reality Project 3 in Asgard?
Why, yes. We outlawed all other bad hacks, so we have more of the good ones. Unfortunately, your realm has not done the same. Foolish Midgardians. Come, Thor. Wait. Loki, you're here too?